Okay, let's see how this works out. Welcome, students. It is me, Miss Sanchez. Oh, I know you missed my voice so very much. So, here I am to bother you. So, this week we're going to start a new unit. And I know it seems weird considering we're not going to see each other and it's odd to start something new, but we have to push through. We're eventually going to see each other. So, we have to start. We finished Romeo and Juliet, and if you haven't done so, I suggest you finish. I'm going to be grading your homework and essays and scripts all next week. Grades are not due until April 1st, as I sent out an email stating that fact, so you don't have to worry so much. However, don't wait until the last minute. Grades are still counting. This is still a school session, so please, 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 please take this seriously. Just like I'm here planning something for you, you should do the same. Okay? So let's look at the poetry unit. Yay! First things first, I told everyone to take their book home. Um, the see, I'm already messing up, just like in class. Doesn't it feel like we're back in school? The poetry unit starts on page 275. So, two things. You can have your book out while you watch this video, or you can go to whichever period. If you go to updates, we have this one, access to textbook online. When you click on this is going to take you, well, you know what? Let me log out. This is going to take you to me. I want to show you how it's going to look on your end. When you click on the link, this will pop up, okay? See, it says students and teachers log in with Clever, just like anything else you've done. And then you are going to be taken to the login site, just like how it looks when you go to LMS. The same thing, okay? Same exact thing. So try it again, so you can see it. You have to log out. See, everything's messing up now. Just like when we're in school. Log in with Clever. I want to show you the login app, but it's going to be the same thing. Well, it'll ask you to log in with your account, okay? It was working earlier. Of course, it's not going to work now. Okay, poetry unit. For the first few days, I'm going to have you do simple things, okay? This is an exploration of vocabulary mostly, okay? 275, you're going to look at this image. It's there. It's beautiful. And you're going to answer this question. Authors write poetry about almost any subject. What do you see in this image that might inspire a poem? Look at it, study it, and write down what inspires you. Okay? Now you can keep this open so that you can see it in color. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where am I going to write this stuff? Okay, here's the other thing. In Schoology, this is any period, all of them are set up. You're going to see the Introduction to Poetry Unit assignment. Okay, it is not published because I'm recording this Sunday night, and I'm going to publish Monday morning. When you click on it, you're going to see it looks a little different. Okay? You have to open this Google Doc. When you open the Google Doc, you are taken to this. Ta-da! This is going to generate your own Google Doc where you can do all the assignments that I'm going to be asking of you. Okay? So, first things first. You're going to have a section for vocabulary. This is all the vocabulary that you need to be familiar with. I don't expect you to memorize it, but it's a good idea to have it all in this section of your Google Doc. Essentially, this is your Poetic Voices Unit notebook, okay? Easy thing to do, go through your glossary. Once again, please, 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 please use the glossary in the textbook, whether it's the one that's online or that you have, and fill this out because you're going to do most of your assignments here. And I will add to it so that you know what to add to it. So right now, the first few things are added, right? So you are going to, I put the vocabulary first so that you have it handy. You know where it is, okay? So this can be done throughout the week. I'm not telling you you have to finish Monday, but as long as you finish it throughout the week, okay? So first thing in the poetry unit, image. Look at this image. What does it inspire? You answer that question here. After looking at the image on page 275, think about and answer the following. Same thing. Authors write poetry about almost any subject. What do you see in this image that might inspire a poem? Write down whatever you feel that picture inspires. Anything. If you think, I don't think this image inspires anything, explain why. Explain why that image won't inspire anything. Okay? All right. So that's one. So this is our overview of the unit. Poetry evokes the power of words, feelings, and images. We are surrounded by poetry in its various forms on a daily basis. Popular music, billboards, and advertising jingles. Poetry allows us to stop and appreciate the mystery of daily life, as Walt Whitman noted in Leaves of Grass. And I'm gonna read this because sometimes poetry can be hard. Poetry can be hard to read because you don't know when to stop, and every person always thinks that you read one line and you stop when that line ends. That's not necessarily true. You stop at a punctuation. A punctuation is the semicolon, the comma, a period, anything. If there is no punctuation, like at the end of you keep going. So I'm going to start reading. Stop this day and night with me, and you shall possess the origin of all poems. You shall possess the good of the earth and sun. There are millions of suns left. You shall no longer take things at second or third hand, nor look through the eyes of the dead, nor feed on the specters in books. You shall not look through my eyes either, nor take things from me. You shall listen to all sides and filter them from yourself. So notice how I stopped even when punctuation was in the middle of the sentence. Okay? I'm telling you this because I'm not going to be there to read every single poem. I can read it once, but you're going to have to read some of these poems over and over again to understand them. So just remember, stop at the punctuation. And one thing you have to remember, poems are what you make of them. Okay? They don't have just one meaning. Because what if you interpret something a different way than someone else? That doesn't mean you are wrong. Okay? So just keep your mind open. So the rest of this is just an overview of the poems you're going to read. One of the final assessments, and I will explain it, don't worry. More poems and a different final assessment. Again, I will let you know. Okay? So, you have your vocabulary to do. You have to answer this one. And then we're going to get into activity 4.1. It's just a couple of questions, but it gets you to think. Okay? So, let's look. Careful attention to the works of published poets will help you explore your own poetic voice. In this unit, you will explore the function and effect of poetic structure and poetic devices. That is figurative language, diction, and imagery. And you should all be familiar with this because we studied this a lot. Once you understand the specific effects of poetic devices, you will be able to use those same devices to create poems that express your experiences about coming of age. You are going to create your own poems while you read other people's poems. Throughout this unit, a lot of this is going to ask you read a poem, now come up with your own poem in that style. That is called emulation, and that's one of your vocabulary words. Emulation is a form of copying. It's not word for word, but it's you copy a style, right? So, I want you to answer these essential questions. Based on your current knowledge, what is poetry to you? And what can a writer learn from studying an author's craft and style? It is how someone writes. What do you learn about how Edgar Allan Poe writes? What do you learn about how Shakespeare writes? What can you learn from studying how other people write? That is that question. Okay? We're going to skip where it says developing vocabulary, and then we're going to look at this. This is one of your final assessments for part of this poetry unit. In blue, this is your final assignment. We talk about it now so you have an understanding. Your assignment is to create a thematic poetry anthology that will include an introduction to the collection, seven or eight original poems with complementary visuals and a reflection that explains the style and content of the work presented. Okay, what I want you to do is, and I'm going to do this right now, after these questions right here, you're going to explain your understanding of the final assessment. Now, I know you will have questions. If you don't understand it, write it. Your understanding of the final assessment. Okay? After these questions. Do you get what is being asked of you? I want you to struggle with this, and of course I will explain it further. But I want to see if you can understand what they are asking of you. Okay? So, again, you're going to read it. It's in blue. What do you understand? What are they asking of you? What do you have to produce for your final assessment for this part of the unit? Now notice, complementary is in blue. It's one of your vocabulary words. And it's up here. Complementary elements are elements that are combined in a way that enhances all the elements. So, 7 or 8 original poems with complementary visuals. Visuals are images, pictures, okay? All right, so this is what I want you to do for the next few days, okay? Because this vocabulary will maybe take you a while. I want you to answer question 1 right here after looking at page 275. What do you see in this image that might inspire a poem? And then answer these questions. Very simple, okay? This is for Monday. Monday, March 23rd. And also your understanding of the final assessment. Write whatever you think you need to do for that final assessment. Okay? For now, this is all. Then I'm going to move on to the other units and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay? We're going to see how this works out. Now, if it comes to the point where maybe I have to create a live class where I need you to be there, I'm going to figure out the easiest way to do it so that everyone is part of that live class. Okay? I'm going to maybe set up a poll to see what's a better time. I know some of you are not waking up early in the morning, and that's fine. So I will think about it. I will also have you tell me how this worked, if you liked it. Again, you're working at your own pace right now, but again, this may change and we have to do a live class. We don't know. We're just trying our best in this situation right now, okay? All right, so that's it for this one. Again, you don't want to wait until the last minute to do it because I will be posting other lessons like this throughout the week. Not every day, but throughout the week, maybe about two, three more, maybe, just depending on how people can access this. And we'll see how this works out. Okay? Alrighty. Well, have fun. You're going to get to read a lot of fun poems. You're going to enjoy this. I'm sorry you can't be in my class again, but it'll change soon. Okay? I will see you later.